Okay, you can see the slides.
Yes, you can see the slides.
Okay.
Maybe you can try to press next so that we can see if they are moving.
Right now?
Still on the introduction to chemical weed control.
What's happening here? Okay, let me try it again. Can you see the slides?
Not yet.
You cannot see anything.
Yes.
What about now?
No.
No slides.
What about now?
No slides.
Wow, yeah, I see why. What about now?
Yes, I can see them.
Is there any change?
No, not yet. But I can see the slides. The presentation, I can see it.
The first slide,
The first slide, yes.
not the second one.
Not the second one.
What about now?
I can see the slides. I don't know if they are moving. Maybe you can try to press the next one. The next
Yeah, I
slide.
want to try to move now.
Okay. Yes, they are now moving.
Yeah, they're moving now.
So we can use this one, this plant, like this.
Can you move?
Yes.
Can you try moving it again?
It's working.
Okay. So we have to start from the beginning.
Not really, Doc. We can just continue from where we were.
Okay. So I was now talking about the disadvantages of using herbicides technology. We said they are very toxic substances. And we measure toxicity using LD50. And LD50 is actually the amount of poison per kg body weight of an animal which is used as a test. For example, the rats. Paraquat is the most toxic. It is represented by 100 milligrams per kg body weight, which is a purple triangle. 2,4-D has got 300, MCPA 700, glyphosate 4,320, and it's represented by a green triangle. Although these days glyphosate has now been changed from, it's now reclassified as the most toxic herbicide. So on the labels, we have a triangle like this one, which is acetaclo 900 EC. It is a triangle which is orange with the bones and the scars, meaning it's a very poisonous herbicide. Now, after applying the herbicides, they can last for a long time in the soil. So they can end up in drinking water, which is not good for the health of the farmers. Now, they may also require transporting large quantities of water during spraying. It's quite a task. And sometimes clean water for spraying may not be available. Now we want to find out why farmers really use herbicides, probably using a Zimbabwe case. Why herbicides are not used widely by smallholder farmers in Zimbabwe. Chivinge found that about 1.5% of the farmers were using herbicides. This is a small percentage after conducting a survey. One of the reasons why farmers do not use this technology can be classified under the information gap. Chivinge found that there was a lack of awareness for some of the farmers. I don't know whether this is still the case, because in 1984, about 99% of the farmers were not aware of herbicide technology. Probably it has changed now. There were also few extension staff who were carrying out herbicide demonstrations. I don't know whether they are now doing it. Sprayer calibration is challenging since it involves a lot of volume measurements and doing calculations. Making mistakes could be costly. You could destroy a crop, and the instructions are in English. Cash is a problem. So capital or cash to purchase inputs at the right time may not be available. At some point, when farmers sold their maize to GMB, it would take them a long time to get paid. And as a result, the farmers are not able to purchase inputs timely. The third constraint is that there are no credit facilities. Banks usually do not provide financing for the farmers. They don't finance these cropping budgets because farmers do not have collateral or immovable property. So banks are not using land as collateral. Low rainfall, climate change. Most of the farmers are in natural region 3, 4, and 5, and sometimes we do have droughts. So trying to use herbicides under drought conditions can be very risky. So sometimes farmers may simply not want to use this technology because of the frequency of droughts. Poor infrastructure and support systems. Now, there are no regular and reliable supply of agricultural inputs to where the farmers live. I mean, you can get some inputs at growth points, things like fertilizer, seed, but you may rarely get some herbicides. Sprayers and insecticides can be found in some local shops, with the exception of herbicides. Probably this situation is improving. Packaging, if you want small containers for herbicides due to your small hectarage, probably you may not find them. They are packed in large containers, probably from 5 liters and above. Maybe farmers just need 1 liter or 3 liters. And once you have packaging in big containers, it's prohibitive to purchase because it may require a lot of cash. So this is the herbicide packaging. Usually they are in 5 liters. You rarely get 1 liter or less. These are some of the issues which came out of trying to introduce herbicides in Chiota, near Marondera. It's between Marondera and Harare, then Narira near Chifu, and Chorocho in Matebeleland North. Some of the issues talking to farmers relating to herbicides could be classified under technical issues. For example, time of herbicide application, farmers were not sure when to apply these herbicides. Whether to apply before crop emergence or after crop emergence, although herbicides are quite flexible. You can put some pre-emergence or post-emergence, but farmers were not very sure. And the effect of dry conditions. Some farmers were doing dry planting. They were not sure whether they could also put herbicides or not. If herbicides fail to control weeds, can they repeat using herbicides? Suppose they have used a pre-emergent herbicide. Of course, if they use another pre-emergent herbicide, it could cause a lot of problems. And also the amounts of herbicides per hectare, this is something to do with calibration. They were also asking questions, after applying herbicides, are these chemicals not going to damage their crops? Then they were also doing intercropping. It appeared there were no suitable herbicides for intercropping systems. Technical issues, toxicity versus the efficacy. They were wondering whether the most poisonous herbicides could be probably the ones which are very effective. If there is herbicide failure in controlling weeds, can they replant these fields? Then the range of herbicide formulations, liquids or granules, probably they want the granules. Then managerial issues, extension messages. It appeared they were not having enough information on the herbicide use. Language, there was no local language on the labels. And also the availability of these herbicides when they need them. Then cost-related issues. Now, the cost of herbicide versus the traditional weed control methods. Farmers were of the opinion that probably herbicides were very expensive. Cost of NEXEP sprayers, they needed to buy knapsacks. Then environmental issues. They were concerned about contamination of food by herbicides. If you spray a crop, is that herbicide not going to remain within the crop? What about the animals which eat stover? Are they not going to be affected? Things like that. So these are some of the issues which farmers were concerned about. So this is it on the issues or constraints concerning herbicide use under smallholder farming conditions. I will stop here. Hello.
Hello, Doc.
Were you now seeing the slide?
Yeah, very nice and flowing.
Okay. Now, I don't know about this technology. Do you think smallholder farmers are now using it?
The use of herbicides.
Yeah. Do they buy these herbicides?
Some do, but there are still few who can do it.
Or those who are now what do you call these farms?
A2 farms.
A1.
A1 and A2 farms.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, some are not practicing it. I think the rate has been increased from the statistics we are talking about.
Okay.
But I noticed when you were presenting that some of the concerns that were raised by the farmers can also be like the advantages of using the herbicides.
Okay.
Because surely if you apply these chemicals onto crops, eventually they are going to absorb the crops. The chemical residues are going to be found on the crop in the crops, some elements of the crop residues. And according to the World Health Organization standards, maybe like in the European region, they are so particular about the chemical residue contained in the crop consignment So it might end up maybe being the whole consignment being rejected just because there's a trace element that is found in the what in the crop within the crop consignment. And
Yeah.
also the use of the biological control on weeds can also be a little bit a challenge. To use IPM, integrated pest management, of the biological control and the chemical control can be a challenge, since the chemicals can also harm the microorganisms or whatsoever organisms that we
Okay.
are using to control it. And also, I'd like to add on that wrong quantities, if herbicides, either it's selective or non-selective, if applied in wrong quantities, might also lead to phytotoxicity of plants, as well as leading to chemical or herbicide resistant being seen on the crops, if maybe on the plants, if the herbicide has been applied on low concentrations.
Yes. Hey, what about others? What do you think about this technology? Remember, I said women spend 75% of their time during the crop production season. They will be just weeding.
I think these ladies are so comfortable with their traditional way of weeding.
Men are always attending meetings.
Yes.
Anything that makes us work less is the best.
Yeah. Yeah. I should think so too. But this is not only typical for Zimbabwe, but across African countries. You find that women are the ones who are involved with the task of weeding. And probably herbicide technology may relieve this task, because at least it takes a short time to control these weeds. And you can also release labor, which may be required to do other things, planting other crops, because you will have protected the early planted crops with a herbicide. Any other issues on this one?
Job creation will be cut. I think if we stick to our traditional way, it will be okay.
What about if we use a bit, we integrate?
Yeah, if we do integration, I think it will be perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But everything will be meeting halfway.
Well, this is the end of the first part. Probably I will do the second part on Friday. Is
Okay.
that okay?
Yeah, it's okay with
It's
me.
okay, dog.
Yeah. So we think about problems of using herbicides in smallholder farming conditions. Normally, students always get away with this question if it comes, because it's flexible. The people will talk their ideas.
Yeah.
You may not know which is right or wrong,
Mm,
because there are so many changes which are taking place. But at least we should be aware of these problems. I don't know whether there are some of you who are interested, who are involved with the selling of chemicals.
Maybe Grace. As for me, I'm not.
We don't sell. We just do. We do pesticide approval.
Ah, okay. Yeah, in one group, I think there were quite a lot of students who were involved in selling products to the farmers. This is the market, the smallholder farmers.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
yeah. The smallholders is quite a large market.
yes. So if there are ways of, I don't know what we have to do to make this technology safe and applicable under smallholder conditions. Okay.
The major concern here, I think, is on intercropping. Because smallholder farming, they want their vegetables in the maize field as well as the pumpkins. Everything will be in the one field. So to tell them to
Yes,
embrace this
coming.
technology,
Yeah.
it's just something else.
Yeah, especially with tobacco farmers. I once visited a farmer that had ipwa as well in the field.
Or in the same field.
Yeah, and he had pumpkin as well. And I was like, you can't do this.
Okay. So I think we'll meet on Friday. Let us meet on Friday.
Okay, thank you, Doc.
Yeah, thanks very much. We'll meet same time.
Okay, dog. Enjoy your
Okay.
day.
All right.